What's up, friends? So, today we are gonna discuss the important 5 SQL topic names, out of which for sure you will get 2 or 3 questions during interview. Based on my experience, I am sharing this. Let's go through it. So, the first one is joins. Irrespective of left, right, self, or full join, whatever, but 99% chances you will get one question related to joins. The second one is duplicate findings or duplicate removals. You may get questions to find the duplicate records or to remove the duplicate records. Here also chances are very high to get this question. The third one is rank or row number function. You may need to use ranking or row number function based on the question asked. But yes, here also chances are very high to get this question. The fourth one is string or aggregate functions. There are many functions in SQL, but highly asked questions during interview string and aggregate function. So few references I have given for string and aggregate function. Char index, concat, len, lower. These are few references of string function. Max, mean, count, sum. These are some references of aggregate function. Now the fifth one is key or constraints. You may be asked to tell the differences between different keys or what is the use of different constraints. But yes, chances are very high to get at least one question out of this. So few references of keys are primary key, foreign key, natural key, unique key. Few references of constraints are not null, check, index, pk, fk, and unique key. Hope you like this video. Thank you so much. Hello friends, today we will discuss about 10 must ask Unix interview question. If you say you have experience in Unix or basic knowledge you have, then I bet you will get 2 to 3 questions out of this 10 questions. So let's go through the commands. Grep stands for Global Regular Expression Print. It is used to search or filter the content of a file. Reference grep5test.txt. The command will filter all the data containing 5 in test.txt file. For example, Aman 58, Jazz 50. So any record which will have 5, it will search and display that content. Now PWD, this stands for Print Working Directory. It prints the path of the current directory. Reference PWD. If you get home test true, it means true is the current directory which is inside home and test directory. Now man, this stands for manual. It can be used to get help on any command that we do not understand. Reference man and cat. This will give detailed information about cat command. Cat. This can be used to view the contents of a file. Reference cat sample1.txt. We can see the contents of the file sample1.txt. Touch. This can be used to create empty or blank file. Reference touch myfile.txt. Then myfile.txt will be created, which will be an empty file. Date. This command is used to display system date and time. Reference date. The output will be Sunday 24 September 1 3:30 am IST. This is just for a reference. That means if you type date, it will give you the system date and time, month, date, time, AM or PM, India time or whatever. More. This command is used to view the content of a text file one screen at a time. Reference more test.txt. We can see the content of the file test.txt but one screen at a time. ls-a. In Linux, hidden files start with dot symbol and those are not visible in the regular directory. Through this command, we can see all the directories including hidden files. cd. This stands for change directory. It is used to change current working directory. Reference, if you type cd through, it will move you to the subdirectory through from your current directory. cd slash is used to change directory to the root directory. The root directory is the first directory. Reference, if you type cd slash and suppose you are inside test directory, then it will move you to home, which is the root directory. Home slash true slash test I have given for reference. Now ch mode. This stands for change mode. It is used to change the access of a file. Every file is having read, write or execute permission for user, owner, group and others. This mode can be used in several ways, but we'll discuss octal mode, which is mostly used in organizations. Reference: if you type chmod 761 test.txt, it means user or owner is having read, write, and execute permission, whereas group is having read, write permission, and others having only execute permission for test.txt file. Now for reference, I have given value and the permission for each value. 4 means read, 2 means write, 1 means execute. Now first digit specify the permission for owner, which is 7, in our case test.txt file. Second digit specify the permission for group, which is 6 in test.txt file. Third digit specify the permission for others, which is 1 in test.txt file. Hi all, I'm gonna give high level walkthrough on data integrity. In this session, I will cover what is data integrity, why data integrity is required, different types of data integrity, where I will cover only entity integrity. Now, what is data integrity? It is a concept and process that ensure the accuracy, completeness, consistency, and validity of an organization data. We can also say data integrity refers to the safety of data. Now, accuracy means ensuring that the result obtained are as close as possible to the accepted or ideal value, or we can say the exact value that business require. Consistency means ensuring that the same results are obtained every time an experiment is conducted. Completeness means ensuring that all required data are available in the dataset. Now, why data integrity is required? It is required for data protection and security. It is maintained by a collection of process, rules, and standard implemented during the design phase. Now, data protection means we can say PII, financial record. Now, PII means we can say our date of birth, account number, PAN number, anything. Now, security means in terms of regulatory compliance such as General Data Protection Regulation GDPR, etc. Different types of data integrity: entity, referential, domain, user defined integrity. Entity integrity uses primary key to uniquely identify records saved in a table in a relational database. This prevents them from being duplicated. It also does not allow null value. For example, we might have two customers with the same name and address, but without the unique identifier or primary key, we could have error or confusion when pulling the data. Now, if you see the following example, where customer ID is the unique identifier, or we can say PK. Upon execution, the output will throw error due to row number 3 and 4, which contains duplicate customer ID and null value in customer ID column respectively. So in short, entity integrity uses primary key, and primary key does not allow duplicate value or null value. So in this session, we are gonna cover referential integrity, domain integrity, and user defined integrity with practicals. Referential integrity. This refers to the collection of rules and procedures used to maintain data consistency between two tables. We can also say rows cannot be deleted or updated which are used by other records. So we can say the below example how referential integrity is maintained by not allowing a course ID which is not present in course table. Here A2 is an orphan record which doesn't have any parent. So if you see between student and course table, course ID is the common column. So in student table, course ID is acting as a foreign key, but in course table, course ID is acting as a primary key. ID A1, A3 is present in the course table, but ID A2 is not present in the course table. That means this ID doesn't have any parent. So this is an orphan record, and referential integrity doesn't allow it. Now if we see roll number 4, student name Angel, doesn't have any course ID, but that is fine. Student Angel has not enrolled to any course ID, and FK can have null value. So that is accepted scenario. So domain integrity. This verifies valid entry for a given column by restricting the type, format, or the range of values. In the below example, the entry for John's age is not an integer, so it is out of domain and this will cause error. mostly used is check constraint for domain integrity. So for example, suppose we have used check constraint in age column where we have defined this column should take integer value, and we are trying to enter a1 which is not an integer value, then in this case it should throw error. Now next is user defined integrity. This verifies specific business rules that do not fall into domain referential and entity integrity. This comes to picture mostly when we define our business rules or transformation and constraint which trigger automatically when predefined event occur. In the below example, as per business rule, we require both first and last name of customer, but Atul is not having his last name, so this will cause error. Let's say source table is having two columns, first and last name, and in the target table we want one column as customer name, and we want the value of first name plus last name in this customer name column. So in this case, if you see Atul is not having last name, so this will throw an error. Hi all, in this video we are gonna discuss few interview question and answer. These are few questions that I have documented. Let's move to the answer section. How do we maintain data integrity in a database? The steps for maintaining data integrity are always validate input data. Input data coming from different sources, that could be another database or files or application, etc. Implement access controls. Means it's about read, write, execute access to tables or database or instances. Keep an audit trail. Means it's about audit log table where all the actions means insert, update, delete are getting captured, who has done that, when it has been done. Always backup data. Adopting security best practices. We all are attending different mandatory trainings related to security of data, organization, etc. This statement talking about that. Now, what are four types of data integrity? Entity, referential, domain, and user-defined integrity. How do we improve data integrity? There are many ways to improve data integrity. Few of those are mentioned below. Validating input data. Sources are many, files, different databases, application, etc. So to maintain data integrity, we need to do a high level quality check on those input data. Removing duplicate data. Backing up data. We all are aware of this word backup. This is something we are using for mobile, laptop, even for our application to keep a copy of our data. If in case due to some reason data loss happens, then we can get those data back. Using access controls. We all are aware of read, write, execute access. The more we are managing access control, the more we are improving data integrity. Keeping an audit trail. Who has done any changes to data, what changes done, and when it changed, all the details can be tracked. What are the properties of data integrity? Data completeness, accuracy, and consistency. What is the difference between data security and data integrity? Data security refers to the protection of data from unauthorized access or modification. Data integrity refers to the accuracy and completeness of data. That's it. Please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.
Hi all, this is Shruti. I'm having around 9 plus years of experience in DB, ETL, OBI. In today's video, we are going to have a very high level knowledge sharing on joins. In my next video, I will share few interview questions related to joins based on my experience. So please like and subscribe for important database topic along with interview questions which can help for future growth and career too. What are the sections that we are covering about join? What is join? What is join used for? Different types of join, practicals, few real-time interview questions related to join. In the first video, we will cover what is join used for, different types of joins, where we will cover inner join, outer join, and few practicals related to inner join, outer join. What is join? A join is a clause in SQL. We have different types of clause in SQL, like where, having, group by, etc. We will be learning those in our next classes. What is join used for? Joins are used to combine two or more than two tables based on a related column, matching column we can say, and display single set of data or a result table. Joins are retrieving data from two or more than two tables based on a common field. We can also say that. Now different types of joins. We have inner join, which is also called simple join, equijoin.
We have outer join, which will have left, right, full outer join. We have cross join, which is also called Cartesian product, and we have self join. Now if you read what is inner join does, it returns record that have matching values in both tables. What left join do, right join does, full join, this all we will read in the practical session. So we have two tables, customer and order. Customer table is having customer ID, customer name, phone address, whereas order table is having order ID, customer ID, order date. So the common column between these two tables is customer ID. And first we are going to execute inner join. So we are looking for customer names with orders. As we know, inner join returns records that have matching value in both the tables. We can say the matching value between these two tables is the customer ID 2 and 3. So this two value we should see in as output. That's what has happened. If you see the output, customer name is Anna Antonio and customer ID is 101, 102, order date is 14/4 and 2/2/2023. Why we have got this three column as in our output? Because in the query itself we have given these columns that this is something we want to see in our output. Customer name from customer table, order ID and order date from order table. This three column value we want to see in the output only for those records which are present in both the tables, customer and order, which is Anna and Antonio. That's what inner join does. So we have used the same two tables for left join also, customer and order. As we know, left join returns all records from the left table and the matching records from the right table. So in the query also, if you see, we have in the query we have given customer name from customer table, order ID and order date from order table. Both the tables we have used, we have joined using customer ID, which is a matching column or common column between these two tables, but this time we have used left outer join. We can also use left join. For both the cases the result will be same. So in the left table, which is customer table, we have Alfred, Anna and Antonio. So Anna and Antonio has placed order. So those customer ID, customer details we can see in the order table also, which will have order ID and order date. But Alfred has not placed any order. So for that customer, we can see null value in customer ID and order date, which is expected. All the records from the left table will be displaying, which is Alfred and Antonio, and the matching records from the right table will display, which is there for Anna and Antonio, and Alfred is not having any matching records, so for that we will be seeing null value. So again, same two tables we have used for right join also, and as we know, right join returns all records from the right table and the matching records from the left table. Again, in the query we have used customer name, order ID, order date. These are the columns we want to see in the output, customer name from customer table and order ID, order date from order table. Both the tables we have joined using right outer join. We can also use right join. In both the cases the output will be same, and both the tables are joined using the matching column, which is customer ID. So no matter whether it is inner join, outer join, left outer join, right outer join, whatever, we always need to join the tables using a common column. Now if you see the output, all the records from the order table are displaying order ID 101, 102, 103. But in the left table we need to have the matching records. Like for 101 and 102 we have customers Anna and Antonio, but for 103 we do not have any customer in customer table. So for that we can see null value in the customer name, which is as expected. And just because order table is having 3 records, all these 3 records we can see which is as per the logic, like all the records from the right table has to display, and the matching records from the left table, which is customer table, which is Anna and Antonio, we can see. And for the non-matching records we can see null value, which is displaying for 103 order ID. The same two tables we have used for full join also, and as we know, full join returns all records from left and right table. So in the query we have used customer name, order ID, order date. These are the columns we want to see in our output. And this time we have joined these two tables using full outer join. We can also use full join. In both the cases the output will be same. So as per the logic, as per the requirement of full join, we can see all the customer. We are supposed to see all the customer name. We are supposed to see all the order ID in the output. So if we can see Alfred, Anna, Antonio, all these three customer names we can see in the customer name column in the output, and order ID 101, 102, 103 also we can see in the order ID columns. But Alfred is not having any order ID, so there we can see null. And for 103 order ID we do not have any customer, so we can see null in customer name column. So overall, whatever customer name, whatever order ID, all these records we are supposed to see in the output. And if there is any matching between these two tables, then we will say that if there is no matching for customer table or order table, then we will see null value for the opposite table columns. Hi all, in the first video we have covered what is join used for, different type of join, so which has covered inner join, outer join. In this video we are going to cover Cartesian join, self join, few practicals and interview questions. What is Cartesian join? Number of rows in the second table multiplied by number of rows in the first table. If you see, we have 4 rows in the first table which is student and 4 rows in the second table which is student course. So ideally the output should be 4 into 4, 16 rows. This is called Cartesian product if we don't use any matching column or where condition in the query. If we use any where condition or matching column in the query, then this will work as an inner join. So if you see my query, I have not used any where condition or matching column. That's the reason we are seeing 16 rows, which is as per the Cartesian product. So let's start with the example. We can see in the output student name John with course ID 101, 102, 102, 103. 4 times we can see the student name. Similarly for Anthony also we can see 4 records with course ID 1, with course ID 102, 102 and 103. This is how Cartesian product works. Number of rows in the second table multiplied by number of rows in the first. Now what is self join? Joining a table to itself using alias name called self join. When all the informations are available in one table, in that case we are supposed to use self join. If you see, only one table is their employee department, which is having employee ID, department name and manager ID. Now the ask is, we are looking for the details of those employee IDs who are also manager. So we can see clearly that 103 and 104, those are employee IDs. Also we can see those IDs in the manager ID column. That means 103 is the employee and also manager for 101 and 102. Similarly, 104 is the employee and also a manager for 103. So 103 and 104 we should see in the output with the department name and the manager ID. 104 is not having any manager ID. That is the reason we are seeing null in that column. Let's start with the interview questions. Question 1 is having 2 tables. Each table is having single column ID. We can see the value between these 2 tables are matching. So what will be the output for inner join, outer join? Outer join means left, right, full joins for these 2 tables. That is the first question. The second question is having 2 tables. Each table is having single attribute or column we can say, but we can see different values and null, 0 also as value in these 2 tables. Here also we need to see the output if we are using inner join or outer join. The third question is having 2 tables. Both the tables are having single attribute address and we can see the blank boxes colored in orange color. So what will be the output for inner join and outer join? The answers will be given in the next video. Till then, please work on these questions. Try to find the answers and you can cross check with my answers in the next video. Any questions or concern, you can ping me in the YouTube chat. So in our previous session, we discussed about Cartesian join, self join and the interview questions. In this session, we are going to discuss the answer for these questions. Before that, there is a note. Inside every join, we have inner join, no matter if it is right, left or full join. Now let's start with the first question, where we have T1, T2. Both tables are having only ID attribute and both the tables are having same value. So if we are using inner join, the calculation will be 4 into 2, 8. 4 times we can see 1 in T1 table, 2 times we can see 1 in T2 table. So 4 into 2, 8 times we are supposed to see 1 as an output for both T1 and T2 table. Now let's move to left join. There is no mismatch value in T1. Whatever there in T1, the same value is there in T2. So for left join also, we will have the same inner join output. Similarly, when we are going to right join, there is no mismatch value in T2 table. Whatever there in T1, the same value are there in T2 also. So here also the output will be same as inner join. Now move to full join. When there is no left or right join specific, in that case, the inner join value will be seen in the full join. So here is the answer of our first questions, where inner join, left join, right join, full join, all are having same output because the value between two tables are same. In question 2, we can see two tables, T1 and T2. Both the tables are having single attribute ID. In this time, we can see mismatch values between two tables along with 0 and null. Before we start the validation, we need to know, like, we can consider 0 in joins, but we cannot consider null in joins because each time null is having different values. Now move to inner join output. As we know, if there are matching records between T1 and T2, only those records we can see in the inner join output. So we have 1 and 4. Both the tables are having 1 and 4, only ones. So we can see 1 and 4 once in the output. We can see 0 in T1 twice, 0 in T2 once. So 2 into 1, twice we can see 0 in the output. Now the inner join part is done. Move to left join. In left join output, we can see inner join output also. Other than that, the mismatch rows in left table, which is T1 table, those values also we can say in the left join. So as we know, 1, 4, 0 are the matching rows between T1 and T2. We have 2, 3, null, the mismatch records in T1, and for those mismatch records, we do not have any matching value in T2. So we can see null. Before that, another thing to remember, like in the output, we have the first ID belongs to T1 table, the second ID belongs to T2 table. Now let's move to right join. We can see the inner join output in right join. Other than that, the mismatch records in T2 table we can also see in the output, and of course we will not be having any matching value for those mismatch records, so we will see null value against the T2 mismatch records. Again, I am telling, in the output, the first ID column belongs to T1 table and the second ID column belongs to T2 table. Now moves to full join, where we can see inner join output, along with that the mismatch rows from T1, which is 2, 3 and null. And if you see, we are having null value against 2, 3 and null in the output of full join, and the mismatch rows of T2, which is 5 and 7, of course 2 times null. And if we can see we have null value for those T2 mismatch values. If you see 5, 7, null, null. So this is how the result is for question 2. In question 3, we can see two tables, T1, T2. Both the tables are having single attribute address. Here we can see mismatch value in blank boxes. So just to make a note, in joins we can consider blank boxes or space. So now let's move to the inner join part. If you see, T1 is having ABC, T2 is also having ABC. So only once we can see ABC in both the tables. So even in the output also we can see once ABC. Now move to the blank box. T1 we can see only once blank box. T2 we can see twice the blank boxes. So 2 into 1, 2 times we can see the blank boxes in the inner join output. Now let's move to the left join. We can see the inner join output. Other than that, the mismatch value, which is DEF in the T1 table, we can also see in the left join output. And of course, for DEF, there won't be any matching value in T2. So in the address column belongs to T2, we will see null against DEF. We also have a null value in T1, and for that value in address column belongs to T2, we will find a null value. We will see a null value. Now move to right join. It is also same thing. We will see the output of inner join. Other than that, the mismatch rows in the T2 table, which is nothing but null, that we can see in the right join output. And of course in the address column belongs to T1, we can see null only against this null value. Now move to the full join. We can see the output of inner join. Other than that, the mismatch rows of T1 and T2. So T1 is having DEF. For that, if we can see, we are having null value. And T2 is having two nulls, which is mentioned at the last. And for both those two nulls, even in the address column belongs to T1, we are having null value. So this is how the join works for the blank space and nulls. What's up, friends? So today we are gonna discuss the important 5 SQL topic names, out of which for sure you will get 2 or 3 questions during interview. Based on my experience, I am sharing this. Let's go through it. So the first one is joins. Irrespective of left, right, self or full join, whatever, but 99% chances you will get one question related to joins. The second one is duplicate findings or duplicate removals. You may get questions to find the duplicate records or to remove the duplicate records. Here also chances are very high to get this question. The third one is rank or row number function. You may need to use ranking or row number function based on the question asked. But yes, here also chances are very high to get this question. The fourth one is string or aggregate functions. There are many functions in SQL, but highly asked questions during interview string and aggregate function. So few references I have given for string and aggregate function. Char index, concat, len, lower. These are few references of string function. Max, mean, count, sum. These are some references of aggregate function. Now the fifth one is key or constants. You may be asked to tell the differences between different keys or what is the use of different constants. But yes, chances are very high to get at least one question out of this. So few references of keys are primary key, foreign key, natural key, unique key. Few references of constants are not null, check, index, pk, fk and unique key. Hope you like this video. Thank you so much. Hello friends, today we will discuss about 10 must ask Unix interview question. If you say you have experience in Unix or basic knowledge you have, then I bet you will get 2 to 3 questions out of these 10 questions. So let's go through the commands. Grep